The world is full of mysterious places that science still can't explain, even with all our modern technology. Imagine a waterfall where half the river simply vanishes into black rock, a desert where radios fall silent as if the air itself were swallowing sound, and lights that dance over a frozen Norwegian valley like UFOs on repeat. Tonight, we're going global. 10 places that shrug off every scientific explanation we've thrown at them. Pack your skepticism and a flashlight. By the end, you'll wonder how much of the planet is still playing tricks on us. Number one, the Hesteland Valley Lights, Norway. Remote, silent, and dark enough to taste the Milky Way. Hesteland Valley should be just another postcard in central Norway. Instead, locals have watched glowing orbs drift, hover, and bolt across the sky since the early 1980s. Scientists lugged in magnometers, radar, and even full time observatory called Project Hesdeland, and still have no consensus. Is it plasma from rare earth metal dust, alien drones, ball lightning? Every theory leaves data on the table. The lights appear at every season and in all weather conditions, sometimes pulsing in Morse code like bursts. You can camp on a ridge, film one, and still drive home with zero idea what you just saw. A Negroquality physicist you show the footage to. Number two, the Tomsky Crater, Siberia. Deep in Siberia stands a 40-meter high stone mound that looks like a volcano caught in mid eruption. Locals call it the Fire Eagle's Nest. Trees surrounding the structure are growing fast forward, thicker rings than their neighbors, hinting at radiation or heat. Yet geologists say there's no volcanic vent, no meteorite fragments, and no sinkhole dynamics that matches perfect concentric layers. Expeditions have measured magnetic anomalies or background radiation spikes, but the only thing they all agree on is that hauling equipment through mosquito infested taiga is misery. So the crater waits, a stone spiral in a forest that no one asked to be so strange. Number three, Moville Cave, Romania. 20 meters below a barren field near the Black Sea lies a cave cut off from the surface for nearly 5.5 million years. Inside, a poisonous atmosphere of hydrogen sulfide and CO2, 100% humidity, and a food web that drinks chemical soup instead of sunlight. Biologists in hazmat suits have cataloged over 50 species found nowhere else in the world: white scorpions, blind spiders, translucent millipedes, all thriving where air breathing lungs hyperventilate and matches die. How did this ecosystem bootstrap itself without photosynthesis? The dominant guess: chemosynthetic bacteria feeding on the cave's sulfur fumes. But the genetic pathways look like anything topside. Mobile Cave rewrites Biology 101, then slams the door behind you. Number four, Lake Vostok, Antarctica. Picture a lake the size of Lake Ontario, hidden under 200 miles of Antarctic ice, untouched for perhaps 15 million years. That's Lake Vostok. Russian drills finally breached the ice in 2012, only to halt for fear of contaminating it with kerosene drilling fluid, leaving mere test tubes of frozen water. Those showed hints of unfamiliar microbial DNA, but skeptics cried lab contamination. Now, NASA eyes Vostok as an earthbound rehearsal for Europa or Enceladus. If life survives here, in crushing pressure, total darkness, minus 80 degrees Celsius crust, then Jupiter's icy moons may be teeming with life. Until sterile drilling system succeeds, the lake remains frozen petri dish.
Number 5. Zone of Silence, Mexico. Drop a compass in northern Mexico's Bolson de Mapimi and watch it spin. Radios hiss, cell signals vanish, and rumor says meteors crash here with bullseye precision. In 1970, a U.S. Athena rocket veered 500 kilometers off course and slammed into the zone, reportedly after its instruments went haywire. Geologists blame iron-rich magnetite deposits for the interference. Physicists counter that the magnetism is too weak. Meanwhile, wildflowers mutate in odd colors, and desert tortoises show genetic quirks seen nowhere else. Government disclaimers call it folklore, but they still keep a research station on site just in case. Feel free to visit if your GPS survives. Number 6, Devil's Kettle Falls, Minnesota, USA. On the north shore of Lake Superior, the Brule River splits in a rhyolite outcrop. One branch tumbles downstream like any waterfall. The other disappears into a dark pothole dubbed the Devil's Kettle. Locals have dumped ping pong balls, dye, even GPS trackers into the chasm. Nothing resurfaces. Hydrologists estimate both branches rejoin underground, but nobody has pinpointed where. A 2017 study claims discharge measurements upstream and downstream finally balance the books, yet the public has never seen definitive tracer dye emerging below. Until someone spelunks the kettle or drops a GoPro with a 2-mile cable, the mystery trickles on. And I'm actually thinking about testing this one, so if that's something you guys would like to see, then let me know in the comments. Number 7, Fairy Circles, Namibia and Western Australia. Fly over Namibia's red desert at dawn, and you'll see a polka dot carpet. Millions of bare, circular patches edged by knee-high grass. Each ring is almost perfectly spaced from its neighbors, as though painted by a colossal stencil. Theories range from termite self-organization to plants fighting for water via underground chemical warfare. Models sometimes replicate the spacing, but fail to explain why identical patterns appear 10,000 kilometers away in Australia's Pilbara Desert, where the termites and flora differ. 2 continents, 2 ecosystems, 1 geometric itch science can't scratch. Number 8, Yonaguni Underwater Monuments, Japan. In 1986, a diver searching for hammerhead sharks near Yonaguni Island surfaced with tales of underwater pyramids, massive sandstone terraces, 90-degree angles, what looks like a carved staircase plunging 25 meters beneath the waves. Geologists say wave erosion along vertical bedrock fractures explains the geometry. Marine archaeologists counter with tool mark grooves, possible inscriptions, and nearby stone tablets on land. If it's a sunken city, it predates known Japanese civilization by millennia.
If it's natural, it's an accidental masterpiece that trolls every passing scuba group. Either way, the ocean keeps the blueprints to itself. Number 9, Baltic Sea Anomaly. Sonar operators mapping the Baltic Sea floor in 2011 spotted a 60-meter object shaped uncannily like the Millennium Falcon, complete with rounded fuselage and right-angle grooves. Dubbed the Baltic Sea Anomaly, it sits 90 meters down, tangled in an EM field that scrambles electrical gear when divers approach. Skeptics think it's just a glacial erratic ice age rock dragged and dropped by melting sheets, but the sonar shows a staircase-like ramp leading up to it. Until someone funds a 3D scan, internet imaginations fill the gap faster than any ROV. Number 10, the Eye of the Sahara, Mauritania. From space, the Sahara isn't just dunes. It has a 25-mile wide eye staring straight into orbit. Pilots first buzzed the Ricat structure in the 1930s. NASA astronauts use it as a landmark every pass. But ask 10 geologists how the perfect bullseye form, and you'll get 10 shoulder shrugs dressed as theories. A meteor impact? No shocked quartz, no crater rim. A volcanic dome? The rings are quartzized, not basalt, and there's zero volcanic pipe. The leading idea says it's an eroded anticline, layers of ancient seabed bulged upward, then weathered into concentric circles. Fine, except erosion rarely draws near perfect symmetry, and the central core rock shows signs of heating to 1,000 degrees Celsius with no magma in sight. Atlantis hunters even point to Plato's concentric island rings. Geologists roll their eyes, yet still can't map a process that bakes, uplifts, and carves stone into cosmic carving is so clean you can see it from the ISS. Until a deep drill core tells the full story, the desert's eye just keeps staring, and science keeps blinking first. From glowing valleys to bottomless waterfalls, Earth is still littered with riddles that kick dirt in the face of certainty. Which place yanked you down the rabbit hole the hardest? Drop a comment, hit subscribe if your curiosity is your comfort food, and share this with a friend who swears science has all the answers. Until next time, keep searching because the map is far from finished. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Bye bye.